So here we have this jug of 13 Chef's food grade mineral oil. Now this stuff is 100% food safe and it's great for sealing new wood cutting boards, wood cheese boards, wood utensils, butcher block, and much more. And it also works great for keeping those items fresh or rejuvenating them once they've dried out. If you're just using it to keep a cutting board or butcher block healthy, then its spread rate is about 1 ounce per 3 square foot. But if you're using it for new cutting boards or cheese boards like I am, then its spread rate can vary drastically. And that'll depend on different factors such as your application method, whether your board is face grain or end grain, and if it is an end grain board, then how thick it is. It'll also change depending on how long you soak the board or how many coats you put on. I would recommend getting at least 1 ounce per square foot of face grain cutting boards and quadruple that for end grain cutting boards. Now this isn't always enough, and mineral oil is pretty cheap, so getting double what you expect can be a good idea too. But if not, then I'd recommend getting at least enough of this to fully submerge your board. Also, when you're done sealing the board using mineral oil, I'd recommend using some beeswax. This is just a Macy's Place wood butter that I got off of Amazon, and this will help your board keep its luster and last a long time. Anyway, today I'm going to be using this to seal a bunch of these maple cheese boards. So first, get a plastic tub big enough for at least a couple boards. Then go ahead and put some mineral oil in, make sure not to fill it up all the way, and then you can put your boards in. Once I make sure they're fully covered in mineral oil, I like to leave them in here for 30 minutes to an hour. And like I mentioned before, end grain boards soak up a lot more, so it's best to leave those soaking for at least 2 hours and all the way up to 24 hours depending on how thick they are. Anyway, after the boards have soaked for a while, I like to pull them out, wipe off any excess, and then either hang them up, set them on their side, or put them on a drying rack. But whatever you do, make sure not to put them flat on a table. Make sure both sides have the same amount of air exposure, because if you don't, it may cause them to cup and ruin your board. Anyway, I like to leave these here to finish soaking in and dry for about a day, and for end grain cutting boards, even longer, up to 3 to 4 days. And that's just to make sure all the excess oil weeps out in my workshop and not in someone's kitchen. Anyway, once that time has passed, I like to give the boards another wipe and then apply this wax. Once you've done that, the board's finished and ready to use. Like I said before, there's plenty of different methods to seal your board or wooden utensils, but that's just how I like to do it. But yeah, overall, I hope that was helpful. I'm pretty happy with this stuff. It's pretty cheap and works great.